More than one commenter on a recent video suggested that deorbiting Starlink satellites could be a problem. Can deorbiting satellites cause large-scale climate effects or other hazardous pollution? This question also fits this week's theme of back-of-the-envelope calculations. Let's go! Relatively small amounts of certain chemicals injected into the upper atmosphere can make a global difference. For example, the effects of a volcano eruption, which generally cools the global climate, can be simulated by injecting sulfur dioxide into the upper atmosphere. Okay, that's a nice theory, but how much sulfur dioxide do you need? The atmosphere weighs several quadrillion tons. Have we got the industrial capacity to shift the temperature of the atmosphere? Or does it take geological events like volcanoes to actually do that? It turns out that it's feasible. Estimates are that it takes about 5 million tons of sulfur dioxide per year to make a measurable change in global temperatures. Do our chemical industries scale up to that level? They do. For example, global production of sulfuric acid, mainly used in fertilizer production, is about 38 million tons per year. Making 5 million tons of sulfur dioxide per year for climate engineering is well within human capacity. That also means we can't reject out of hand that deorbiting satellites don't have an impact. How much of what materials are in Starlink satellites? They're mostly made of aluminum, and they weigh about 500 pounds each. The second generation satellites weigh about 3 times as much, and will be about 10 times more numerous if plans come to fruition. So we have a factor of about 30 between the satellites we have now and the ones we may have in the future. That means SpaceX has plans to create a constellation of about 40,000 satellites weighing about 1,500 pounds each, mostly aluminum. These satellites have a lifespan of about 5 years in a steady state maintaining that constellation. About 20% of the satellites will deorbit annually. That's about 12 million pounds of mostly aluminum burning up in the upper atmosphere. 12 million pounds is about 6,000 tons, or a tiny fraction of the 5 million tons of sulfur dioxide it takes to cool the atmosphere, like a major volcanic eruption. Wait, what about chlorofluorocarbons in the ozone hole? Yes, CFCs had a significant effect with a smaller amount of those chemicals entering the atmosphere, only about 1 million tons per year. But that still leaves satellite deorbiting material at 6/1000ths of the mass of CFCs at their peak in the 1970s. While 40,000 satellites seems like a crazy number, space is big, and the Earth's atmosphere is big and massive, too. Yes, humans were able to threaten the ozone layer with chlorofluorocarbons, and it's theoretically possible to geoengineer climate using sulfur dioxide. But it almost certainly isn't possible to have an impact on climate or pollution in general from deorbiting satellites, even ones 10 times as numerous and 3 times as heavy as exist today.